So the end of the year is fast approaching, and we have likely now a lot of sellers thinking about that Q4 quota that they might have and getting a little nervous and potentially desperate. I think that's why we should experiment more with actually not having quotas. It's probably a very controversial thought, but I think if you hire the right profile of person, you can still move efficiently through a sales process, still have a motivated team without creating this artificial pressure. Nonetheless, most sales teams today do have quotas. So what do you do when you're approaching the month of December? You definitely don't want to be constantly checking in, being that annoying seller, saying, hey, like I haven't heard from you, or hey, the discount expiration, it's gonna be in 2 days. Can we kind of force fit this through your process, which normally takes 3 to 4 weeks, right? This doesn't feel good for anybody because then you feel reactive and rush. So what you do is start preparing early and start being very transparent around goal dates. And then not only goal dates to get the contract done, but also make it about the customer starting the new year off on a productive foot. Or you could say something like, hey, obviously getting this done end of the year would be personally a great milestone for me. And I think it could also help you because I saw that your teams are ready to go and want to hit the ground running come first or second week of January. So I don't want to force fit anything or rush you artificially, but do you think we can start now that it's November? Do you think we could start planning to formalize this well in advance of December 31st so that we're not rushing at the last minute? So saying something like that feels, a lot less pushy, feels very proactive. You're planning ahead, you're getting ahead before it's like a week or two before end of the year. And you're talking in terms of obviously what would help you, because you should still be transparent about what helps you personally. That's why often I use that word, but also make it about them. And so I would try this out as an option. The second thing you could do is you could say, hey, listen, just as much as we like to run through the sales process efficiently, you'll see this reflected when we start working with you as well. And so you could say something like that. We value as a company speed to having the conviction to start working on a project like this. And of course, we don't, again, want to have you make a rush decision, but we would like to start focusing on delivering sooner rather than later. You could say something like that too. It's totally okay, especially if it's true that your culture is one of like fast action and fast execution in a high quality way. You could say that. You could, hey, this is one of our values. And if you're at a startup, it should be one of your values if you want an edge. And so saying something like that and then getting the other side's buy-in that yes, we also want to move quickly and we understand this is not just because you want to be pushy or aggressive, but because this has an indication as to how you will be, that can also be very impactful. So hopefully I've given you a few thoughts. The main thing I want to say is prepare early. Talk about this timeline early. Don't be the person on December 12th who brings it up last minute. Really think about this from a preparation mindset, and also make sure you make it about the customer and what they would get after the contract. Remember, just because you close a contract, that doesn't mean your job is done. You need to now make sure your customer has a great experience, interaction, and that your product has a lot of successes for their company, the successes that you promised. And so make sure that is apparent when you're trying to move quickly. It's not just about signing the dotted line. It's about aligning with your culture of speed, making sure that you're preparing for the new year and starting that off strong, and just aligning that message and that mission resonates with the other side too. Because they could also say, hey, listen, like I get it, you want to be end of the year, but realistically it's not going to happen. Having that answer also helps too. But in any case, prepare, be super transparent, and move quickly before end of the year approaches too soon. Good luck. If there's any other sales tips you want me to weigh in on, give me a follow, subscribe to me, or drop in the comments the thoughts that you might have about this or any other topics. Thanks so much and good luck with end of year.